More than a decade ago, the Orlando Magic reached the NBA Finals, but they got there by a strategy that was revolutionary at the time. Surround athletic big man Dwight Howard with 4 shooters, and they did damage. They applied pressure. The strategy worked to perfection, but never more than January 13th on 2009, when the Magic set an NBA record at the time, splashing home 23 three-pointers in a game against the Sacramento Kings. Since the league introduced the three-point line in 1979, no team made more than 21 in a single game, and the Magic achieved that on one special night. And the Magic were 8-1 contenders with the Boston Celtics and of course LeBron James and the Cavaliers. But more important is what happened afterward. The record has since been broken or equaled 18 times. And today, the Milwaukee Bucks hold the record of a stunning 29 made threes in a game versus the Miami Heat. That Magic team eventually made the NBA Finals, but of course, they fell short to Kobe. And hoops has not only ushered into a new brand and new era of hoops, but seemingly enters a new one each year, with the only constants being more three-pointers, more spacing, and more points. So, the 2009 Magic, they vanquished both the Celtics and LeBron James Cavs, but they lost to the Lakers of course, but this was a quirky time in the league, and we're gonna look how it turned out. They made threes and created matchup problems on nearly every possession, with the lineup featuring a peak Dwight Howard, towering shooters like 6'10 Hedo and 6'10 Rashad Lewis, and crafty point guard Jameer Nelson. All this to say, it stretched out defenses beyond their limits. And nowadays, hoops is like this for real. If you aren't 6'10 and if you ain't shooting a 3, then you most likely just aren't good. The Magic did not invent the three-point shot or the strategy of taking them a lot. Turkoglu and Lewis were not the first bigs to aim from long distance. Nelson was a one-time All-Star who played with 5 different teams in his 14 years in the league. They simply invented the best possible style to suit their personnel. And the Dubs Golden State Warriors have since built an NBA dynasty around the three-point shot. The style was simple. And because Dwight Howard was bullying guys in the paint, it made them to need space outside. And that's where the three-point shooters came in, Turkoglu, Lewis, and Nelson, along with the real sharpshooters JJ Redick and Michael Petrus. We never talked about a certain amount of threes or even to take a lot of threes. What we talked about was attacking the basket and attacking the paint, but maintain space. So if people came to help on Dwight, we could throw the ball out for the 3, and certainly from there, everyone had the green light, said the team's coach at the time, Stan Van Gundy. This wasn't a team hunting for threes, rather, they just found them. And from there, players made easy reads off the defense. The player needed the top of the key, would cut to the basket, and the weak side defender would be forced to choose between taking away an easy layup or an easy three-pointer. And because Dwight Howard was such a bully, most teams, they defended the layup. If you were open behind the 3 and you don't take it, that's you coming out of the game, said the team's shooting guard, Courtney Lee. That's how we ran the offense and how we moved the ball and how we needed to make room for Dwight. And no cap, it should be noted that this team was really good at making the threes that they took. Of the teams that went on to tie or break the Magic's record of 23 made threes, none of them shot a better clip than the Magic's 62% from the field. And peep this, there are 3 teams in NBA history that made 10 three-pointers in a game while attempting less than 80 field goals. And each team was an Orlando Magic team coached by Stan Van Gundy, starting with the 2009 Finals team. The Magic's current head coach, Steve Clifford, was an assistant on that team, and he believes that this team doesn't get enough credit for popularizing the 4-out and 1-in playstyle that's so common in today's league. And what's more common is the 5-out playstyle, simply because centers just don't bully people anymore, they're trying to shoot. The 2009 Magic are kind of just forgotten about. People will mention their 4-2 series win over the Cavs, but more just how it prevented LeBron from playing Kobe in the finals. But the Magic are the only Eastern Conference team that LeBron never defeated in the playoffs, excluding teams he played for. So as you see so many teams out there playing 3-and-D ball, don't forget how that Orlando Magic team was the NBA's Forgotten Innovators. And let's compare this Magic team to, say, the 2018-19 Rockets. Players like Rashad Lewis liked mid-range shots, the kind of largely went out of style. The Rockets team emphasized threes and shots at the rim. The Magic also weren't doing pull-up threes off the dribble. Van Gundy wanted his team to rely on spacing and create inside-out shots to get people the ball. And of course, Turkoglu pulled up sometimes anyway, especially in the second half of playoff games where he was really the team's point guard. We celebrate Giannis, and we should celebrate Giannis, and Hedo didn't have the physical strength or talent of Giannis, but this was a 6'10" guy who handled and passed like a point guard and shot the three, Van Gundy said. Even to this day, he's on a short list of guys who could do that. There just haven't been many guys like him in league history. Nowadays, it's becoming more common to see 6'10", 6'9", 6'8" guys just handle the rock like it's nothing, like Giannis and like Ben Simmons, like Luka. Turkoglu's skill meshed well with the uniqueness of Rashad Lewis, who Van Gundy says it was a traditional power forward and he could still shoot the three. And nowadays, it's different because fours aren't really muscling people in the paint or inside like they used to. But the Magic's journey through the playoffs back in 2009 is kind of like a Forrest Gump-like adventure through the next decade in the NBA. In the first round, they beat out the Philadelphia 76ers, who were led by Andre Iguodala. In the second round, the Magic overcame a 3-2 series deficit to beat Boston. Now, the Celtics were playing without KG, but the Magic were playing without Jameer Nelson. And also, Courtney Lee was coming off the bench in limited minutes after a face injury. Then to the Eastern Conference Finals. They faced LeBron, who was averaging 38.5 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. But this was all part of the plan. At the time, including an exhibition in China, the Magic played James 9 times over 2 seasons and had success by not overreacting to him. If you look into the rest of my coaching career, I clearly didn't have any formula to beat LeBron, Van Gundy said. Our theory defensively, we wanted him to be more of a scorer and less of a guy to help those guys play well. Those other guys needed LeBron to play well. He put up absolutely huge numbers, but we had more overall talent. The Magic closed out the series 4-2, and really, it was a stamp on LeBron James' career at that time. But they really met their match the next round in the finals when they played the Lakers. Now obviously Kobe, that just isn't fair to guard. But where the Magic ran out was, the Lakers had that length too. They had Lamar Odom, Trevor Ariza, Andrew Bynum, and Pau Gasol, who were all very smart defenders. The series was closer than the 5 games it took for Kobe to win his 4th title. Courtney Lee missed a potential game-winning layup in Game 2, and it could have went either way. And in the 10 plus years since the Magic went to the finals, basketball has for sure changed into mostly a 3-point game. But you can't forget about that Magic team who was innovative. And just 11 days after the Lakers closed the Magic out, James Harden and Steph Curry were picked in the 2009 NBA draft. And we both know how innovative those players were. And the league is changing every year now. The Magic, they just changed it in their own unique way. Now that does it. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the Sports Plug Nation if you aren't already, and as always, thank you for watching.